Hola, clase de español. We have a lot to accomplish this week. In Spanish, we are starting our new chapter. In Spanish 1, we're starting a new chapter. There's a lot of information in this chapter, and all of chapter 3, not just this sub-paso, but the next several weeks as well. And we have a new thing that we're introducing. There is some embedded extra credit in each video. I don't talk about the extra credit during class, but for those of you who are checking out our screencasts, this is a little Easter egg for you to enjoy if you like to earn a little extra credit, and if you, at the same time you want to actually learn something new in the process, which is the intent, you may do so. So toward the end of our video today, I'll show you a little something, and it will be related to our topic as well. So let's go ahead and begin. Like I said, there's a lot to work with, so let's just jump right into it right now. And our first item here has to do with definite articles. We've actually already looked at definite articles once already this year. But here we go. The articles el, la, los, and las all mean the in English. That we've already had. And we already know that they must always agree in gender and number with the word they precede. So, for example, if the word is libro, which is both singular and masculine, it would have to be el libro. If it were, example, the books, it would have to become los libros. So if libros is plural and masculine, therefore its definite article must be too. If, for example, it was carpeta, it would be la carpeta or las carpetas for the folder versus the folders. So that should hopefully be a little bit of a review. We're going to touch on that topic and make sure to practice it a lot during the course of the week. Next big item on the agenda this week has to do with telling time. I'm sorry I can't seem to get this box to get out of our way here. So I guess I'll start with it down here and then I'll move it up in a moment. But here we go. Oh wait, maybe I can move it this way. So close. Cutting off the last zero. Oh well, let's go ahead and continue. To ask the time of day in Spanish, simply say, ¿Qué hora es? So you're looking, you don't have a watch or whatever, and you say, ¿Qué hora es? You're literally asking them, what hour is it? But it's actually, what time is it? To tell the hour, except for times around 1 o'clock, use son las plus whatever the number of the hour is. For example, if you want to say it's 8 o'clock, you'd say son las ocho. If you were to say it's 3 o'clock, it would be son las tres. If you were to say it's 11 o'clock, you'd say son las once, and so on. So for time, and now I'm going to move this up a little bit here. So for times after the hour, follow this pattern. For example, if you want to say it's 7:15 or 7:15, you'd say son las 7:15, which literally translates to they are the 7 1/4. So if we wanted to clean that up a little bit, it's 7:15 or it's 7:15. For it's 8:25, we could say son las 8:25. So we're obviously giving the hour, the word for and then the minutes time. So son las 8:25. They are the 8:25. If I want to say, for example, it's 11:30, I'd say son las 11:30. They are the 11:30, or it's 11:30. Since 30 is the halfway point between hours, oftentimes they will use the word media instead of 30, although they would understand you either way. Okay. Moving on a little bit more with telling time. For times before the hour, I noticed the reason I say before the hour is because I'm talking about if it's after the 31-minute mark. See, in Spain, they refer to the hour that we're closest to, not the hour that we're in. So for example, if it's 1:31 in the afternoon, they wouldn't refer to the hour of 1 at all. They would say it's 2 o'clock minus 29, because it's closer technically to 2 o'clock. So if, for example, it's 3:35, you wouldn't say, in the Spanish version, you wouldn't say it's 3:35. You'd say it's 4 minus 1/4, because you're closer to 4 than you are to 3. So they always refer to whatever hour you're closest to, right up to that halfway mark. That's the cutoff. Okay, for times before the hour, say, for example, it's 20 minutes to 1 o'clock, or it's 12:40. You'd say es la 1 menos 20. Literal translation: it is the 1 minus 20. Son las 12 menos cuarto. It's 11:45. In this case, it's 11:45 is what we would usually say. but they would, since you're closer to 12 o'clock, they would say son las 12. They are the 12 menos cuarto, minus quarter. They are the 12 minus quarter. Kind of an interesting study in general versus literal translations with telling time. Son las 8 menos 10. They are the 8 minus 10. That's how you would say it's 7:50, or it's 10 minutes to 8, depending on the type of word usage you have. For times including 1 o'clock, use es la una. For example, es la 1:20 is it's 20. So for every other time of day, you'll always start with son las. But if you're going to be talking about the hour of 1 o'clock, you would say es la. Now the reason for that is because 1 o'clock is only 1 hour, so it's considered singular. So es la, it is the one. All other times of the day refer to multiple hours. So that's why they use the plural form. They are the 2 o'clock. They are the 4:30, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's why we have son las for all other times, but es la for dealing with 1 o'clock. Just a little bit of information there. As you can probably tell already with these two very rich slides that we looked at here, we have this one and this one. You can probably tell there's going to be a lot of drilling necessary, a lot of practice with this one to get more used to the concept, because I'm glossing over them very quickly, and I'm doing this in under 15 minutes in class. This is a discussion for the day, and lots of verbal practice and lots of written practice too. Okay, continuing on. Hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about telling time, at least give you an introduction to it. If it ends up giving you more questions than answers at this point, that's probably a good thing too. Write those questions down and bring them to class. That's what this is designed to do, is help you out. If you, later on, once we've had a little bit more time with this will make a lot more sense to you. So revisit this later on in the week too. Okay, continuing on with vocabulary. We have a lot of vocab for this week. I'll just go ahead and place this back over here, and we'll go through it kind of quickly here. For those of you who printed this sheet out and are following along at home, please feel free to write down everything in advance and come to class with this completely filled out. I have no problems with that. So here we go. El almuerzo is lunch. El almuerzo. El arte is art. El arte. Las ciencias, science. Las ciencias sociales, social studies. La computación, computer science. ¿Cuándo? Asks the question when. ¿Cuándo? El descanso is a break or recess or rest. Después means after or afterward. Después. El día libre, my students' favorite kind of día. It's a free day. El día libre. We don't have a lot of días libres in Español uno. Sorry, guys. La educación física, physical education, or gym class. El francés, French. La geografía, geography. Hoy means today. Las and los are both definite articles that mean the, kind of like el, la, los, and las. They all mean the, but these are the plural feminine and the plural masculine forms of the. Luego means later. Mañana, tomorrow. Mañana. Las matemáticas, math, or math class. La materia is the subject. We would view that as the material, but subject when it has to do with classes. Por fin means finally. Por fin. Primero is first. Primero. El semestre is the semester. El semestre. We already did a little bit with telling time. Here is just the basic vocabulary you need to manipulate and put together. We have es la una, it's 1 o'clock. Menos cuarto means 15 minutes until, or quarter to. The literal translation is minus a quarter. ¿Qué hora es? Asks, what time is it? Son las is generally translated, it means it is, as in it's 3 o'clock, son las tres, or it's 5 o'clock, son las cinco. We know this actually literally translated means they are the, but when telling about times of day, son las means it is. Tarde means afternoon or late. Y cuarto means quarter after. Y media means half past. Okay, a few sample sentences here, just a few sample sentences before we get too far. First sample sentence, ¿Qué clases tienes este semestre? What classes do you have this semester? ¿Qué clases tienes hoy? What classes do you have today? ¿Y cuándo tienes un día libre? And when do you have a free day? Your friend might answer to these questions. Yo tengo matemáticas, inglés, español y ciencias sociales. I have math, English, Spanish, and social studies. Primero tengo geografía, después computación y luego francés. First, I have geography, afterward, computer science, and later, French. So that's an example of giving some words in a series. First, afterward, and later. Helps you to do so. Mañana, por fin, tengo un día libre. Tomorrow, finally, I have a free day. Okay, continuing on, almost done here. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Ay, ya son las tres? Oh, it's already 3 o'clock? Some possible responses to these. Son las ocho. It's 8 o'clock. Son las 11:30. It's 11:30. Es la 1:15. It's 1:15. Sí, hombre, es tarde. Vamos. Yes, man, it's late. Let's go. Now, obviously, the word hombre, man, isn't used quite as much as English as it may have been in yesteryear, but you can substitute any slang word that refers to a friend. Like, yes, sir, let's go. Not that you would use sir a lot, but maybe I would. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good overview of what we're working with this week. We've got just a couple minutes left here, and I'm going to very briefly talk about some extra crédito. This is what many of you have been waiting for. So for those of you who've suffered through the entire video, hopefully you didn't cheat and fast forward. We'll take a look at this. Sometime this weekend, due at the very beginning of the class period on Monday, very first thing, the first chance you get is this. Just get a note card. You need to get a 3x5 card or 5x8, whatever size you have is fine. And on one side, it's going to say the schedule of, and then your name. In this case, take a look at it. It says, oh, I'll try to get this just right. It says, El horario de Marcus Moore. That's me. I'm Marcus Moore. And so El horario is the schedule of Marcus Moore. So if your name was, you know, for whatever it ends up being, Billy Smith, it'd say El horario de Billy Smith, the schedule of Billy Smith. On the reverse side of your schedule, you will write your actual schedule. Whoops, trying to get this right here. Sorry about that, guys. You will just write down a list of your schedule, hours 1 through 7. You don't need to tell me your lunch schedule or anything like that. Just give me your 7 classes that you have in order. We may not have gone over all of the classes here. We may cover classes like we didn't have the word for choir. We didn't have the word for band. We didn't have the word for drama. So there are several things that are missing. For any of those classes that aren't part of our vocab already, your assignment will be to look them up. Feel free to use any resource or reference that you want. Obviously, people tend to love and overuse Google Translate, but any Spanish-English dictionary or online translator can help you with individual items. So I'd like you just to write down your schedule using current and looked up words, okay? So for example, you have biology first, you would say biología or la clase de biología. If you have chemistry second hour, you'd write down química or la clase de química. And so you're just going to go through each one of your